Now, okay, before I say anything, I just want to say you guys know me, right? And if you don't know me, we're about to learn each other. See, before I get into what I want to get into, I want to tell you guys a little story. Has nothing to do with Ciroc, but Diddy. So about a year ago now, right? Maybe a little less than a year. I had a really good breakup. And by good, I mean nothing really went wrong. We just broke up. Like, wasn't anything dramatic. It wasn't, oh, I hate you. It was a really good breakup. Still sucked. It just so happens that when I broke up or was broken up with, Chicks Tape 5 dropped. Oh, it was a lifesaver. That's delicious. This guy, Tory, smoothly, melodically, incredibly changed my little shitty ass winter and just made things a lot better. Being able to relate to things that happened in that relationship and other relationships, and also use songs that I was very familiar with to get that across. It's new, but it wasn't new. You guys know he had T-Pain, he had Ashanti. Oh my God, he had Maya. He had Mario. And I like Tory Lanez, but that took him to another level for me. Now, I go from there because in that music, he seems to be very mature. He seems to have things together. He seems to be able to keep a cool head. If you've heard Chicks Tape 5, then you know what I mean. There was a lot of fuck shit going on with his ex and the girl he was talking to. And he really just kept things together. So I use that to segue into what I have come here to talk to you guys about today. Tory, what in the fuck did you think you was gonna get out of shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot? Cue the music. All right, we're back. I had to do my intro. Sorry. I'm gonna start this off by saying, if you shot that young lady in the foot, you, sir, are a bitch. I'm not pulling my words. I'm not going back and retracking. I'm saying it right now. If you shot Meg Thee Stallion in the foot for no reason at all, other than you were pissed off, you, my friend, are a bitch. Now, with that being said, that was a bitch ass move. I want to address some things that I find to be concerning just outside of, first of all, this makes absolutely no fucking sense for either of you. Sip to that. No sense for the either of you. I really just kept trying to bail you out because in my mind, I couldn't conceive of a reason of why you would need to shoot a woman in the feet. Shoot a woman, period. Unless she was trying to do harm to you. But if said harm was her hands, you as a man, I don't care how much bigger she is than you. I've seen you hang your monkey ass off of the side of a fucking building for a whole performance. So, no. I don't take that she's stronger than you. I don't give a fuck how much bigger she is or how much twerking she did. So, hands cannot be a reason why you would shoot a Meg Thee Stallion. With her story coming out and her saying what happened is even more disturbing, even though the story itself is fragmented. but that can possibly be due to it being so long since the situation happened. In the heat of the moment, you forget things later on. The further things get away, of course, it's not as fresh in your mind. But from what she said, she was walking away from the situation. She didn't put hands on you. It was just an argument. And you leaned out from the back of the car and shot her multiple times. I have no other words to describe that but being a bitch. And I don't want to get disrespectful to either party here. So I'm saying if this happened, you are a bitch. But in any situation, there shouldn't have been a gun in the vicinity of Meg Thee Stallion or Tory Lanez unless a person who was licensed to have said gun had it. There should have been no reason for you guys to have a gun on either of you with security there. I don't know what went on between you and your security, her, whatever it may be. I'm not sure. Whatever. Secondly, I just want to say she felt she needed to protect everyone there. Even after being shot, she needed to protect everyone there because she feels as though police officers are killing people, black people, a mile a minute. That's fucked up. Nobody should have to be victimized and be more scared of the people who were supposed to be there to help them than the person who harmed them. That's fucked up, America. It's fucked up. That is disgusting. No one should ever have to be afraid of people who are paid by our tax dollars to serve and protect. That is fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. It makes no sense. She doesn't have to, in a perfect world, she doesn't have to be shot by someone and the police show up and she has to be more afraid of the police. Like, shit, they might kill all of us if I tell them I just got shot by this man and there's a gun in the car. That is complete and utter garbage. Third, bruh, you're going to have to put out Michael Jackson, R. Kelly level music to even get halfway past this shit, man. Like, this is disgusting. Like, this is not the first time you got in trouble for having guns. And the reason I bring this up is only because you are like the badass Canadian cousin that comes to stay over your cousin's house. You're just at your aunt's house and you do everything in your fucking power to get everybody in trouble. During a time where people are screaming Black Lives Matter, there are riots, there are peaceful protests. The United States is outside when they're supposed to be inside because of a pandemic. People feel the need to say, look, Black Lives Matter. And you, during a time of change and progression for black people, have the fucking audacity to shoot a black woman. You basically said, fuck my career, fuck Black Lives Matter, fuck Meg Thee Stallion, fuck Tory Lanez, fuck my fans, fuck her fans, fuck America, fuck Prince Henry, fuck the Queen, fuck them fairy faggot socks with the bells on the back. No, I'm quoting Riley now. But you basically said fuck everybody for the sake of what? Your ego? What drugs were you on? Please explain to me what drugs you were on. Because you're not supposed to be here. You're Canadian. We're letting you come here because you're entertaining. Once you're no longer entertaining, you have nothing to leverage to stay here. And guess what, Tory? Your entertainment factor is about -5 right now. Now, just to be my own devil's advocate. Need a sip. That's some good shit. Just to be my own devil's advocate. I will say, this story has to be incredible. It has to be. Because nobody in their right mind believes they're going to shoot a young lady who just had a #1 song with arguably the biggest artist of a generation and think they're going to get away with that. So my logical mind tells me there's more to this story. If there's more to this story, Tory, fuck what your publicist is saying. You have to say something. You have to stand up for yourself at some point. You have to come out and say, this is what happened. Because the longer that you wait to say what happened, the more you look guilty in the court of public opinion. And yes, I know the court of public opinion does decide whether or not you get deported, you go to jail, you have a record. No, it doesn't. But with you being a public figure, that's the court that decides the rest of your life. Chris Brown is arguably the biggest R&B singer of a generation. He didn't shoot Rihanna. He hit her with his hand. He was canceled so motherfucking fast. He had to put out some of the most amazing shit ever by himself after that, just to stay relevant for long enough for people to fall back in love with him. It's a hell of an uphill climb. Ask him. I'm sure you could get his number. You might have his number. You've worked with the man. Ask him. How do you sit in the same room with that guy, knowing what he went through, and make a mistake so egregious as the one that you are being claimed to have done? I don't know. Other than you are a fucking dumbass. Brother, I'm going to talk for a second on something people may not understand. You were able to get out of your contract. What was that? The New Toronto 3 was the last album that you owed on your last contract. You were out of your contract. You, my friend, are a free agent. Coming off of quarantine radio, where you just got a deal for it, you're out of your freshman contract, about to re-up, generating money through a pandemic. You were in the position to make generational wealth. Like, you were putting yourself in a position to be able to take care of your kids. As a person whose story I've listened to, I know you came from shit, just like so many other people in this realm. You came from nothing. You lost a lot. You wanted more for your family, for your bloodline. You wanted so much more. Was whatever you were arguing with Meg over important enough to sabotage your bloodline?